If you're looking for an awesome optic for your firearm so that you can go either shoot matches or go shoot at the range, then do take a look at this optic from Cylee Optics. This is the Bull X Pro. And in a separate video, what we did was we looked at everything that came inside this packaging. In this video, what I wanted to do is focus on some of the main features with this optic. So I actually saw this optic mentioned in a number of videos and actually had one of my subscribers reach out to me and say, hey, can you take a look at these optics? So I reached out to the company, and actually, interestingly, they reached out to me about a year and a half ago. But I was like, hey, you know what? Because one of my subscribers wanted me to take a look at it, we're actually going to go reach out and look at them. And honestly, I'm glad I did. So the optic came in this packaging and basically starts making really good promises already immediately on the packaging. Fully submersible, rainproof optic. The optic itself, so basically what we have as a design is that this is a really big optic. This is meant to mount directly to an RMR cut, or if you have a plate system for a firearm with an RMR plate. You have a really nice big window in here, and this truly was meant to be an optic, which I wouldn't necessarily use it for defensive purposes, but absolutely for matches or anyone who needs a big window, this is going to be a great optic for that. Now, the really cool thing is, so what this is, it's an open style optic, meaning that you do have your front element on the front, and then you do have a laser emitter on the back, which is going to project the dot onto the front glass. Now, one of the things that they did with this one is you do have this nice ballistic shield over the top, so it will protect the front glass, and it looks like the emitter on the back is going to be a little bit more protected, so it will try to help keep the rain and mud and things like that away from it. But if you're looking for something that's going to be, like, say, for defensive type use, or you're going in a combat type situation, not the optic for you. Because you can get elements in here and then you're not going to be able to use it. So keep that in mind. And basically, I think by calling it Bull X Pro, they're kind of trying to go after like the bullseye market, and I think that definitely would be a nice play on it. So this optic is going to have a lot of really cool features. Number one is that it's going to have a multiple reticle system. So you're going to have 3 different options of reticles. So number one is you have a 3 MOA dot. Number two is you have a circle, and then the third one is you have a dot within the circle, which is really cool. One of the ways you can tell a good quality optic from a cheaper quality optic is by the dot itself and whether it's going to starburst or not. And people who have astigmatism, generally you'd want to go with a higher quality optic, because with a lot of the cheaper ones, it's just going to basically become a star. What I will say is actually this one is not bad at all. Definitely a nice clean dot. I'm looking at it at one of the lowest settings, and it is really solid, nice and clean. Now, beyond that, this dot is going to have a couple of really nice features, such as it's going to be a shake on weight. So as soon as you pick it up, it detects any type of motion, it will turn on. Number two is after 5 minutes of inactivity, it will automatically go to sleep, and that's definitely going to save on the battery life. They are saying right around 50,000 hours. And what's nice is that you do have your battery slot right here on the sides. So once you mount this, if you need to change your battery, you don't need to take it off, because a lot of the RMR dots, the battery is actually on the bottom. So you don't have to mess with that. The battery tray is right on the side, so super nice. You do just want to make sure that your screws are going to be torqued in properly and everything else along those lines. What else? So this one is going to be IPX7 rated, so basically it means that it is going to be completely submersible, so it'll be good out into the elements. Number two is that they do rate these for drop safety, not only just drop safety, but that the dot is going to keep it zero and survive a drop. So they've done that, and definitely will be testing that in the future as well. And okay, and really kind of like I said, where this is going to fit in is, someone who is looking for a good quality competition style dot without spending a ton of money. Now, this is probably one of the most expensive red dots within the Cylee lineup. However, this is a lot cheaper versus a lot of the competition that it is going to be going up against. So it's definitely going to go play on the value aspect with it. Now, the one thing to note is, and this dot does look massive, but here's one of the things you have to note. So this is the actual RMR footprint. And one of the things you're going to notice is that right here on the front, there is going to be an overhang. So they do have a card in here specifically talking about it. And so when you're mounting it, you do want to make sure that there's going to be space so that this overhang is going to be over the top of the slide and it's not going to try and cover up the ejection port, because that would start creating issues with brass hitting the bottom as it's being ejected, and that's going to cause and induce reliability issues. So probably not for like a micro carry gun, which might, well, most of those are going to have the micro RMR pattern on there anyway. But if you have like a compact gun, compact slide that you cut for an RMR slide, you do want to pay attention to that. Overall, fit and finish on this seems really, really nice. I do like the dot. I do like the dot options. Instructions are actually pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing more and playing with Cylee optics.